Hello and welcome to week one's Friday night games. We have the end of our week one games finishing up tonight. A lot of the standings are starting to show where teams are going to first start falling. And we're going to be getting ready to watch game one of the night, which is joint team Maritime Vanguards against the free agent Secret Agents. I'm joined here. I'm Staff Sergeant Porter, also known as Sejuani's Flail, and I'm joined here with Coach Matt, also known as Snipa, and Staff Sergeant Washington as Logan Silvers.
Howdy, howdy. Good to be here. Another day for games.
And we also have Tech Sergeant Odell, Eternal Cries, on production.
Alrighty. Well, are you guys excited for this game today?
Oh,
I'm excited to have
yeah.
3 games. That's the
I am
most
too.
exciting part to me, to have 3 consecutive games.
Yes. I'm excited to have not only 3 consecutive games, but I don't have to play today. So all of this is going to be me watching games, talking with the chat, talking with you guys. It's going to be great.
It's always good to be able to watch. It's like they say, those who can't play coach. That's me.
So what happens if I can't coach and can't play? What is that?
You should uninstall.
We call that
alright.
a wash, is what we call it. But
We
not
do
to your
call it a
face.
wash. Oh man, I haven't heard that one before.
It double works, because it works grammatically, and it's your name. It's so good.
Alrighty. So where are we sitting at with the start of this?
So it looks like ban is starting to begin, and blue side will start it off with banning Kane. Just so everybody can know, the free agents have submitted their roster slightly late tonight, so they will lose 2 bans sometime in this draft and will not get 2 out of their 5 bans.
So I looked it up. It's actually 1 out of 5. That was my mistake. I actually told them 2. It's actually 1. So let's make sure they understand that.
No, so you were talking about for the e-sub thing, with the new updated roster submission rules, we have them in 15-minute increments. And so for every 15 minutes that your roster submissions or updates are late, that is a -1 ban.
Yeah,
So-
that is true. That's true.
They submitted at
Didn't they reach back to us?
6:40, so that's a minus of 2 bans.
So didn't they reach out and said that they were having an issue?
Yep. So it's based on the opposing team to whether to enforce the bans or choose not to. So every team that is opposing the team who could potentially lose bans has the option to say yes, you will lose the bans because you were late on your update, or no, like we'll be good guys. You guys can keep the bans and have all 5.
Excellent. Okay. I just wanted to make sure, especially for any of our people watching right now, so that they know what's going on.
That's very fair, too, to leave it up to the opposing team. Very good.
I will say the current setup of the league this year, and I'm not just saying this because I have both commissioners in the call with me right now, but I have to say that the setup for the league this year has gone a lot smoother, at least from my viewpoint. And we've had a lot more people. So hats off to you guys once again. Thank you for keeping the dream alive. And that was in no shape, form, or fashion brown nosing.
We'll say one thing interesting is the automatically instant allow we pick top lane. As we know, some of the allow buffs with the range of the tentacles did get buffed with the current patch, so she will deal excessive damage, and if she gets ahead early, have fun 1v3ing in that top side.
Yeah, that extra 175 range on the tentacles to help out with the wider lanes is also incredible when Alawi gets to ult in a team fight. It's massive. Got the Maokai flex pick. That could be top jungle or support. Very versatile pick. Zac could also be top or jungle. I'm a little worried about picking so many not high damage tanks into Alawi. We'll have to see what the damage picks are from Secret Agents.
Well, this could turn into anything realistically with the Maokai Zac. When we played against that combo, right, the Maokai Zac combo for our game, it was rough. It was very rough. It was a really disgusting combo, to be honest. So I'm very curious to see it here, and the joint team, the Maritime Vanguards, go against the free agents here. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, that hurt a lot.
It's a lot of crowd control and health, that's for sure. And both of them have some amount of percent max health damage as well. So they can hurt people. Not really Alawi, but everyone else. They're definitely a problem for everyone else.
Also, that reminds me, I need
The
to
Trundle.
I need to update my in-game name. I'm actually retiring Logan Silvers.
Also, just so everyone's aware, they are skipping the 4th band, and the pick that came out of J Team on their side was Warwick.
Very tanky team so far. Both teams purely bruisers and tanks.
Well, that's the current meta right now, right? Like the items are not really leading towards anyone who's not a mid bruiser or tank. Sorry, ADCs and enchanters and.
I was gonna say, if there's one
everyone else in
champion that
between.
absolutely loves a full tank team, that is a Trundle. Especially if you scale all
Yep.
that armor and just melt it away.
True.
And that Alawi wants to go with the team, with the Leona and Warwick picks as well, because those will allow her to really get into the team fight and get big ults. But if that happens and Trundle gets to split push, those could be very quick dead turrets. It's going to be an interesting trade-off if they go for that. Aurelion Soul ban coming out from Maritime Vanguards. Aurelion Soul got hot fixed because the buff was a little too strong, but it's still very strong. Aurelion Soul got sweeping changes in this patch and is still very good.
The Lux band is pretty nice. It looks like they just went after mid lane. I'm sure there's a solid reason behind that, and has nothing to do with personal feelings towards each other. Take a sip of drink. But who knows?
Secret Agents is going for a solid team fight late game with the Twitch pick. They're going to look at some big Twitch damage if the game can make it to that 25-30 minute mark where Twitch can actually get multiple items to kill the tanks and bruisers.
Yeah, but I don't know. Let's. Ooh, Orianna.
That's a big scary pick there. Orianna ball on Warwick engage and Leona ult to either start the fight or follow up. This is scary.
Oh, we seem to have a lobby issue.
I think that lobby expired.
Oh, all right. Well, that'll be all good.
Yeah, I'm really curious how all these Oriana balls are going to impact this game, especially since it seemed to be a very strong pick the for Juicy Cookie in the mid lane.
She brings the damage too. Got the dangerous crowd control and the damage. The Fizz pick could be looking to just delete the Oriana and Ezreal though.
Yeah,
This is
so
very interesting.
it looks like that's how the draft will finish up. So we're gonna get this lobby recreated, get into game, and see how it goes.
But
what are your
before
guys'
that,
thoughts for this
I was about to
game?
say, yeah. What do you want predictions to be? So Logan Silver, start with you. What do you think, Logan? What's your prediction for game?
My predictions, looking at the team as it stands right now, I'm really liking the Maokai Zach Trundle pick. Leona's pretty strong. Don't get me wrong, right? And Alawi's definitely going to be interesting to watch. But I think the free agents have a pretty solid team right now. I'm curious to see what their game plan is for the game. If they're going to do a play kind of traditionally. But I'm leaning towards the free agents right now, just purely off of the picks, because just like Coach Matt said, the Twitch pick is a pretty good idea, and Fizz is there to disrupt any like team fights that aren't going their way, right? If he's smart, he holds his ult and uses it for a way to like give Zach another avenue to go in or trundle away to escape. That'll be really good for them.
I kind of like the way JT plays, because I've seen Spooky T play. He likes to kite back, likes to be in extended fights, especially if he doesn't have his Draven. I've seen him play on Ezra. It's very hard. And if you look at the team, they do have Zach for an engage. You also have Maokai, right? But a lot of it, they have to reach that back line, and they definitely have Peel. You have an Oriana ball that comes out. You have a Leona that can constantly CC and stun. So it's going to be essentially who arrives to the objectives first, who controls those choke point and vision control, and who gets the upper hand. Because if you're looking at extended team fights, that should go on the way for JT, but you do have spray play for Twitch, consistently melt through that front line. So, I mean, unless I'm wrong, but I feel like JT has a slight advantage just because they've played into these team comps beforehand, and they've had past experience on it and been able to pull it off with great success in the past. So I'll put my vote behind JT. So we're split. So Sejuani, what are you thinking since you're really the decider?
Oh man, honestly, both of these teams seem really competitive. I know that they got a lot of great players on both teams, but I think after playing with Juicy Cookie from last season, I'm gonna have to edge it out to the side of Maritime Vanguards.
Okay, so 2-1 for the side of JT. We'll be in the lobby. Obviously, there'll be a short countdown before we actually get into the game. So be sure to go grab some drinks, grab some popcorn, whatever you want for your snacks. But when we come back, it'll be game 1 of 3 for the previous tonight's matches between JT Maritime Vanguards and FA Secret Agents. We'll see you back in a few minutes.
Hello and welcome to game 3 game 1 of week 1. We are getting into it. Sorry for a little bit of the technical difficulties as we're still ironing out the kinks and getting all of our production in working order. For this game 1, as I said earlier, we have the Maritime Vanguards on the blue side against the Secret Agents on the red team. On the side of Maritime Vanguards, we have Private First Class Washa as IS Tallow in the top lane, CWT1 Herworth as Azazel in the jungle, Specialist Moore as Juicy Cookie in the mid lane, CTR1 Lawson as Spooky T on AD carry, and CWT Roberts as IOP6 in the support role. And on the side of Secret Agents, we have Senior Airman Cornmuller as #1 Creed fan in the top lane, Senior Airman Alvi as Jabberwocky in the jungle, Senior Airman Hess as Lemonraz in the mid lane, Senior Airman Soltz as Frozen Bullet on AD carry, and Staff Sergeant Brown as Downtown in the support role.
All right, so we're looking at a pretty normal pretty normal start with the game, right? We have the jungle starting on their, red side starting on their blue side starting on their red. Easy day so far.
Lemon Russ and Kooky trading it up at level 1 in the mid lane, not wasting any time.
Yeah, so as we can see in this game, the jungler started in opposite, well, actually not even opposite quadrants. They started in the same quadrant, but Azazel immediately went to his blue buff. He's going for a three buff clear. Meanwhile, we had this fight in the bot lane. Sorry, Zach just going in for that aggressive level 2 spike, going to catch out Leona at the level 1 and get that kill with the ignite. But yeah, so we have the early 3 camp level 3 from Warwick looking for some aggressive plays while Maokai is looking to go for a full clear. Warwick coming to invade this red buff while both of the red laners are closer to respawn, so we'll have to see how this unfolds.
Yeah. Not sure what Warwick's trying to do there if he stays there too long. Well, he made Maokai reset his red, so...
Yeah, Jabberwocky did ward the bush to catch it out. Warwick smiting it second and actually getting that buff steal. Meanwhile, #1 Creed fan going to come in. They're going to come get the ghost, make the flashes come out. Ghost from Warwick as well. Here comes the second round of fear. Does not pop it. And it's just Juicy Kooky here providing the extra support, going to get traded with a little by Lemon Raz.
Juicy Kooky could be in trouble if Trundle gets a big pillar.
Ooh, big pillar has to force the flash. Very well played follow-up from #1 Creed fan.
There's a lot of fights happening right now. It's very interesting.
Yeah, Downtown going aggressive again. Really, really able to play this aggressive, engaged style support because he has these blobs to just heal up even when he's at low HP. The blob cost is a flat % of your current HP that is the cost, and then it always heals the same amount of HP. So the more that you can use abilities on these minions while you're low HP and pick up those blobs successfully, the longer you can sustain in this lane. Leona going to miss the E, and Frozen Bullet just going to stealth out of there.
Yeah, I really like the Zac pick as a support, even though I lost this Zac Maokai kind of tomfoolery. Mostly because like supports that are not traditionally top laners, in my experience, have been pretty helpful for my teams. I used to do a Shen Jin kind of combo way back when that was still viable, but with the current changes to the game, they don't mesh really well.
Now there's a smell you can feel.
Balin's getting shoved in on the blue side, and unfortunately, Twitch never got to recall to spend any of that gold, so it still feels even until that first recall happens.
Yeah, definitely really important to think about the gold in these lanes. Just because you get a kill doesn't immediately make you stronger. You definitely have to go and use that gold that you just got it from the advantage. Azazel going to dodge the pillar knockup with the Warwick Q. Actually, really good timing there. Looking for a follow-up. They are collapsing. Juicy Kooky here, not level 6 quite yet. Does not have flash. They're going to turn onto her. Not able to quite get her with the root and the auto attacks. Now turning onto Azazel, does take him down. Now switching on to Tylo. Tylo does not have his ultimate as either. The ignite does go down, but not enough to kill Creed fan, and that will be a double kill to the Trundle.
And that's something you don't want to see a Trundle with 3 kills sitting in his pocket.
There was a good look from the blue side there where they knew that Fizz had to recall with this almost death mid lane, but unfortunately Alawi did not get there in time, and big bully Trundle just ran over the blue team.
Warwick might get a kill here on this Maokai. Let's see how this turns out.
Yeah, Azazel immediately running back to the Grubs to try to contest these a little bit. Smite going down from Jabberwocky to secure the second one. Switching onto Azazel, going to finish him off. There's still no 6 from Talo, but the Subjugate does come down, going to drain his stats, get him really low, and not going to be able to do much but force him off. That should be the last grub, but Juicy Cookie does have her ultimate right here. That is Flash Shark. Chum the waters from the Fizz, but I don't think he knew that Juicy Cookie was second guessing walking down that way. Azazel already back here for his fourth death, primed and ready. And going to just go farm his jungle. Meanwhile, downtown in the bot lane, getting a big fight, going to get Ignite dropped onto him. Stun, follow up onto Frozen Bullet, misses the W from the Ezreal, and he's going to get a walk out of there. Tallow having to flash out in the top lane. Craziness happening, all these fights across the whole map. Spooky T trying to get some extra damage, going to get so close to popping the Zac passive. Downtown flashes away and will just recall.
You ever ask somebody how they're doing and they say, live in the dream? Trundle would mean it. Trundle has 4 kills top lane with lethal tempo and is ready to just steamroll if Alawi ever leaves the lane. Trundle's living... He's really living the dream.
I say living the dream, and I do mean it. It's just because nightmares are dreams too.
As a former Alawi player and top lane player, right? And normally a top lane player, I'm scared. I'm not even playing the game, and I'm scared. This Trundle is spooky.
Spooky T flashes for the W, but the stealth goes down and the E doesn't target him. Oh, that's so sad to see. He does waste the flash. Now Jabberwocky here, not going to look for the engage. Thankfully, because Warwick is also in the shadows, they do not know.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I would have known that the invisibility would make the E on Ezreal not go towards the W on Twitch. That is so unfortunate.
Yeah, actually, I don't even know it. I feel like
it might have been just out of range.
It might have just been out of range. Ooh, meanwhile, Alawi dropping the leap of faith in the top lane, going to chunk Trundle down to 20% HP. What the heck? Trundle is winning this lane, by the way. That is not what we're wanting to see from someone who's winning in the matchup. But I guess that's Alawi. Meanwhile, the shockwave coming down in the mid lane, and Fizz going to drop the Chum the Waters and going to miss. And they're just going to handshake and walk away now. Downtown coming in the bot lane. Just all of this nonstop action. I really love it so far. Will the Solar Flare come out? No, that will be Leona Flash. Maokai, meanwhile, trying to chase it down. Switching on to IOP 6. Fizz goes down in the mid lane from the
Ezreal's turning it around,
baby. Trying to turn. He does get the the True Shot Barrage to finish off the kill and is going to get out of there as well. Azazel coming in, trying to clean this up. Meanwhile, Creed fan fighting Tallow in the top lane, going to get smashed by a tentacle. It's getting really low. He's going to take down Tallow, and Azazel's still fighting. Just pop the Zac passive in the bot lane. Jabberwocky trying to look for an opportunity here, not going to get anything more. And that is how you talk about 5 different fights going across 3 different lanes in the span of 1 minute.
Those of you watching that top fight may have wondered, why didn't Alawi attack Trundle? Well, it turns out Alawi's auto attacks are not very good. And if she could walk away for even 1 second and get another ability up, very possibly a dead Trundle. But unfortunately, everything was down.
It's also very easy with Alawi to auto cancel. It is super easy with her. I don't know if it's because of how animation works or what, but it is slightly annoying. I've run into that problem multiple times.
Yeah, there's just some skins that have very clunky auto attack animations, and sometimes finding a skin that has a smoother auto attack animation is very good. But yeah, if we look over to the gold spread over here, we can see that there is almost a 2,000 gold lead just in the top lane, a 300 gold lead despite the early Warwick invades in the jungle on the side of Maokai. We also have mid lane tied up, even Steven, and Ezreal actually coming out on top with 400 gold lead over this bot lane that got an extra kill early on.
You know, I was talking to a team about after we fought the free agents. I was like, they'll bunga this. And sure enough, that's basically what's going to happen here is they have a Trundle, a Maokai, and a Zac. If that isn't the most unga bunga, I'm going to beat you up comp I've ever seen, I don't know what is.
This is a dangerous top fight here. It looked better than it could have been, but with Trundle being so far ahead in the top lane, that may have been a time where blue side just says no.
Chum the Water's coming down, but Shockwave is available, going to hit onto the Fizz, and the W is going to finish him off. What's that called? Dissonance?
I believe so.
Blue Field.
Yep.
Let me check. Let me check right now.
Yeah,
that was
going
big
in
age.
with the Zenith Blade. They're going to stun up Downtown. Downtown looking for the opportunity. The less bounce not connecting with anyone. Solar Flare not able to do much. And Spooky T just going to get a little bit of damage with this engage. That is support ulti for ulti.
It's good that they're looking for the kill on Zac while the passive is down. It didn't quite work out, but they're definitely making a good effort on the blue side bot lane.
Yeah, it's a little hard when he has his ultimate, because even if you can get on him, he can use that to kind of bounce everyone away and get extra blobs down to heal off of and sustain. But it looks like they're probably going to dive onto Frozen Bullets. The cleanse does come down. That is stuns coming out from IOP 6. He's going to get turned around with the spray and pray. It's not going to be Leona's not going to be able to live, but also True Shot Barrage taking down Twitch in exchange. Tallow, meanwhile, getting chased down in the top lane, and Lemon Rash trying to finish off Spooky T. Did drop the Ignite, but that will be flash out from Spooky T and Lemon Raz as a trade.
I would have put out that Creed fan, or Trundle, has Trinity for us. So it's going to be, he's got the one item buff.
Not only are his Qs causing Alawi to be slowed, but they're getting massively buffed in damage from the Sheen. He's getting extra movement speed from the Phage. It's a rough top lane right now. This is the Trundle insta-killing every tower situation where there's no one to stop him.
Yeah, sadly, the normal starting top laner for the Secret Agents, Airman Fig, is traveling to Boston this weekend. But it looks like they did get a really good emergency sub in the way of Creed fan over here, and it is paying dividends despite the 2-ban loss that they had to face. Shockwave going to try to peel off. Juicy Cookie going to flash over into the red buff wall. Meanwhile, Azazel in the middle of 4 does get the fear, does take down Lemon Raz, is going to go down in exchange. Downtown having to flash out. IOP 6 looking for the opportunity to lock someone down. Going to turn on to Zac, but his team's not in range. Meanwhile, Orianna over the wall with the dissonance does finish off the Zac. They're going to try to finish off Jabberwocky. They do take him down, and they're going to chase onto the Twitch and not be able to get much more there.
And Alawi is holding her own very well against this Trundle.
Look at it go!
Does she get the shutdown?
It's really close. These tentacles smash really fast with the ultimate active, but it looks like he will get away with that Trundle pillar. Oh, Azazel coming in on Mach 5. He's running for him. He does have the fear and the Q. That's 1,000 gold onto the jungler.
Massive shutdown.
Right? That is a massive shutdown. Warwick will be able to finish out his jungle, come back with a full item, and then some. That's going to be huge for them.
I hate to say it, but free agents they had a rough couple of plays there. They got the free dragon with the fizzle, which was great, and then they went in after the fizzle was already down, and it just barely didn't work, and the Trundle gets shut down top lane.
And this is kind of what I was thinking in my mind when I was on the fence and it wasn't a clear for the free agents. This comp has a lot of strengths, but it also has it's heavily reliant on the teams getting their CC out. But if people like Orianna can displace the team or slow them down,
yeah, if Orianna is not the one
anything.
engaged on, Orianna is not the one engaged on, her ult can actually just turn the fight right around.
And then Ezreal has a free escape. It's pretty great.
Yeah, Creed fan looking for an opportunity here, does drop the Shockwave to peel off the Ghost, not enough to keep on to that. Juicy Cookie didn't have flash, a very good decision to use that ultimate to save her life. And Zac looking for an opportunity, elastic screenshot, not able to connect. Meanwhile, spray and play onto the 2 bot laners, does get stunned by the solar flare into the follow-up, keeps Spooky T alive. Azazel getting the infinite duress onto the jungler, not able to do anything to finish off that Spooky T. He lives with a sliver.
All
and
right.
Jabberwocky goes down.
Listen, that
This is the
Warwick
turnaround.
fear, That Warwick Fear at the last second saved
That was
Spooky
golden.
T's life.
That was a
Spooky T
golden
was
fear.
clenched.
Definitely
I-
sweating it.
I have goosebumps. You know, I'm also jealous because I was playing Warwick against the free agents before, and everything that's going right for Warwick was going wrong for me during my game. So I'm jealous, but at the same time I'm happy because this comp right here I don't like. I was I'll be honest with you, I do not like it.
Well, you don't have to bring up painful memories. I mean, we heard how that went.
It wasn't bad. It just wasn't good. But it looks like the teams are kind of playing it safe now. No one's really looking for an engage, right? The joint team seems to be like we can win, but let's not look for a fight. Let's just make sure we know where everything is, get good vision clear, all that jazz.
You're looking a little rude.
Somehow, 17, almost 18 minutes into the game, Ezreal and Orianna have not died.
That is impressive.
Even Alawi with the 5 deaths is still creating pressure top. His can't come down as long as Alawi keeps pushing into the tower, which is very good. Dragon's coming up in 40 seconds, so we see Alawi headed towards bot lane.
Yeah, they're going to look onto Azazel. He does use the ultimate to get out of there. Solar Flare coming down to peel him. True Shot Barrage going to hit 3. They're going to finish off Trundle. That is a huge ledge bounce in the middle of 4 people. Shockwave gets 3, does take down 1, does take down 2. Zach Passive is just creeping for its own death. And Jabberwocky will just crawl out of there. Lemon Raz not in that fight.
And you know, this is it. This is where the Ungood no longer bugs.
That pressure from Alawi is essentially what allowed there to be an advantage in that fight for the Vanguard, for the JT. They had Fizz still clearing out the top lane, and they just didn't have the manpower there.
Curious that they didn't go after Ocean Drake immediately, but I see that they're prioritizing keeping the team in a good place, right? Like,
They have all ultimates down on both teams. It's tricky for either team to think they could really fight. I would say the Trundle team, if anything, has an advantage without any ults on any of the teams.
I think this game's a little unfortunate because so much gold is on Trundle that he kind of has to fight with his team when he would love to be splitting. Yeah, he has so much gold, but if he could just split with these 5 grubs, the void grubs, he would be able to get so much more for his team. There's only roughly a 1.5k gold lead on the side of Secret Agents, and I feel like that could be so much bigger right now.
It's very close considering how huge their early lead was.
Indeed, Baron is on the map, which means the buffs are going to switch over to their void forms, and it looks like we have standard Baron this time around. For those of you who tuning in who have either played League before or just haven't been paying attention to the changes to the Rift, there are 3 types of Barons. Potentially we could see all 3 this time around, but who knows?
If we look right now, Trundle bot lane has teleport. Alawi doesn't have teleport.
Yeah, Trundle dropping the ghost, Alawi flashing out. She's going to drop the ultimate, not able to do much there. Meanwhile, Spray and Pray in the mid lane, going to get people pretty low. Spooky T having to flash out. Solar Flare not enough to peel, and they're just trying to flash away for their lives, but the red team's sticking on top of them.
Oh boy.
See, this is what they are looking for, right?
Kookie's going down.
From the water, Shockwave misses the Fizz, going to lock him down, going to take him down. Tallow not able to do anything, and they're going to look towards the Baron, maybe. Oh, Jabberwocky pretty low. Maybe not.
You see, Coach Matt, this is what we were talking about earlier, right? We have uh, a team where if they don't catch people out, if they go in as a team versus team, they're going to lose. But these individual catch outs, the red team has.
Both,
Okay.
I mean, both teams have that. The unfortunate thing with the mid fight was that there were multiple members of JT that were in the jungle not ready to help in the mid catch, and it was just free kills. And then bot lane, honestly, Trundle could have just killed Alawi in the bot lane. He chose to back away, which is a safe play, but ultimately ends up just getting the turret anyways because it's Trundle. You can't leave him there.
I'm really disappointed that the Warwick just inted into 5 people and they didn't immediately turn to Baron after killing him after just coming off the one fight. Because I know that if that was me jungling, you'd know, you'd hear my classic saying.
All right, so we're going to look at the map real quick and kind of see wards, right? And as you all can see, there's not a lot of vision on blue side at all. There's like very little. Now, if we switch it over to the red side, they have pretty decent vision going on, and on top of that, they're just kind of roaming, so they don't really need vision. They're in the.
Yeah, gonna have to cut you off here at this point. It went from one person caught out to now the whole team spray and pray going to melt down everyone. That's 3 down, and that will be a 4th. Meanwhile, Trundle just pushing into the base turret, and it's gonna be Jabberwocky and Twitch going on to the Baron.
Twitch and Trundle just living their best lives.
Oh my gosh, and that is 5 for 2 across the whole map. It is just Oriana to defend after she just got solo killed by this Trundle, and now Trundle's going to just start looking for this top tower.
You really hate to see it.
A Trundle that isn't behind is such a massive threat to be left alone in a solo lane. Even up behind Trundle is a massive threat, and with Twitch getting to survive the entire team fight in the blue jungle up there, it's a very, very big power play on that. They get Baron and 2 lanes down.
So look at the goal difference. That's more than double. Well, that's just over, like barely over double the goal on the Trundle versus the Alawi. That is insane.
Oh man, and here we come. This dragon would set up secret agents for their soul point. Would be their 3rd dragon of the game, 4th dragon overall. Leona trying to get some vision down so she can tell her team exactly what's going on, but there is a control ward in the pit, and it's just going to be Downtown and Frozen Bullet finishing this off. Jabberwocky coming in here to finish off with the Smite secure. Ult to zone the team. Elastic Slingshot coming in. Does miss the Q. Tallow just trying to run from the back.
Trundle sticking with the team here is like, he can do no wrong.
Oh,
He could split push, he could stay with the team, doesn't matter.
I don't know where Alawi went. I'm putting out a missing person. That was incredible.
Alawi's one of those champions where if she doesn't die within a second of you seeing her cast her ultimate, you know you're in for trouble. So I see her ult in the middle of 5 people and I start to clench, but man, really good for the red team. They're so far ahead at this point. 11k gold lead, and they are just pressuring to end the game right here with the Baron. They have minions coming in from every wave. There's not much the Maritime Vanguards can do besides try to clear. Elastic Slingshot going to help Lemonraz finish off Azazel right there. Spooky T just trying to clear the waves, trying to do as much damage, but he's an Ezreal. He's single target. They're finishing the Nexus. There's a bunch of fighting, and that won't matter because that will be game 1 going to Secret Agents.
I gotta say, that was wild. That was intense. Sorry.
Oh man.
I
So very, very, very good game one. Super exciting. As we can see on the damage charts, 23,000 damage coming from the leading Ezreal from Maritime Vanguards, but 26,000 damage just from your little melee champion Trundle in the top lane. Yeah. And
Trundle
turrets.
just
so much going
eating
down.
turrets the entire time. I'm pretty sure Trundle took every turret in the game.
That's
I'm almost
Trundle.
certain Trundle
Yeah,
took every turret
he
in the
did
game.
his job. He definitely
And
did
with
his
the
job.
changes to Hullbreaker, like he's unstoppable. It's literally his game. But before we go on a very short break to set up the next game, do we have any party shots?
No, I think
That's a
that'll be
Trundle
it for
clinic.
now. I think it's just a Trundle diff. Very good sub for Secret Agents over here. And, you know, I'm going to have to shout out my girl Fig, but I'm glad that her team was still able to pull out the win without her being here. So,
Right.
very good game one. We will have Private First Class Bowden filling in for me for game two, and we will see you all again shortly. Give us a few
All
minutes.
right. Take a break.